Hi, I'm Tisha,
I'm Loren.
and this is the Open Booked podcast. Today, we're talking about how my neighbor stole Christmas, or
Yeah,
how the
that's right.
neighbor. Okay, yeah. I was like, I don't words. As I mentioned last week, we're gonna kind of forewarn you at the beginning. Um, Anytime we talk about a book, we're probably going to spoil it for you. So just have that in your mind. We'll talk about some other things going on in the world first and then get into the book. So once we do that, if you've not read the book or you care about spoilers, then you will want to stop there so that you don't have anything ruined for you. So, um, first, what are you reading now?
I just finished all of the 5 Under the Mistletoe collection, so I
Mm-hmm.
really have a clean slate, and we'll talk about that next week, but I need a thriller. I need some whodunit. I need some murder. I just need something else. So I have a clean slate, so I'll probably find me a good thriller or something. What about you?
Same. I just finished this one this morning and um don't really have anything lined up. I was looking because I am actually ahead on my reading goal finally,
Yay!
thanks to those 5 little books.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea. I'm kind of in that same spot. Like I need something to kind of cleanse my palate after all of that cheesy romance.
Yeah, I need some murder, dark, kidnapping. Yeah, I just need some non-fluff.
So I actually somebody had um on my Goodreads had said that they wanted to read or were reading a Taryn Fisher book.
Okay.
And I looked and I think I'm going to read either The Wrong Family or I Can Be a Better You by Taryn Fisher next.
That
Because
title's
those seem,
interesting.
yeah, those seem ominous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
So,
good idea. I never even thought about going to her. I know she's best friends with Coho, and they did like that
mhm,
back and forth on Never Never, but I would be interested to see what her writing style is like.
yeah.
That'd be fun. Okay, are we ready for some current events?
Yes.
I have some that'll be pretty brief, and then I have one that y'all. I can't even. Okay, I don't know if you've read my notes or if you've heard about
Yeah,
this,
I
but
just looked at them.
okay. So let's start with Luigi Mangione, everyone's favorite Italian.
Mhm.
The first thing I want to say about this is the amount of businesses that have made posts with alibis for him has been my favorite part about
Oh
all
my
this.
gosh, yes.
And Burger King, we don't snitch. I
Love it.
died. Oh my gosh. Everyone, I'm sure you're listening, you know exactly what we're talking about, but in case you don't, Luigi Mangione's the guy who clapped the CEO, allegedly innocent until proven
Mhm.
guilty. I'm on the board of he might be a scapegoat. I don't know, is the CEO even really dead? We're conspiracy theorists, so you know anything is possible in our minds.
Mhm.
Like, is the CEO really dead? Did he set up to hit himself? But if you look at those eyebrows and that chin between those two pics, they don't lie. Also,
Not the same
3
person.
coats. Yeah, 3 different coats in one day with a little backpack that we know to have been filled with Monopoly money. I
Mhm.
personally took a trip to Chicago with 2 coats and it took up half my suitcase. So you can't
Mhm.
tell me that he had 3
No.
different coats on, 2 different masks. I get it. Like, I don't know. I think there's a bigger picture here, and I think he is maybe the person that was set up due to his story. And it was a convenient, he's the fall guy. That's kind of what I think.
Yeah. I loved the line that he gave as he was like being taken into the prison. He's like, he said something to the effect that like, this is ridiculous. And you're basically undermining everyone's intelligence by trying to put this all on me. Like
Mm-hmm.
that I would be caught with my manifesto in my backpack that I dropped in Central Park with Monopoly money, but I'm wearing it again. same
Yeah.
backpack, and same jacket that was also dropped in Central Park. And there were fingerprints at the scene, supposedly from a water bottle, and that initially they couldn't read because they were smudged, they weren't clear, but now they're a perfect match to Luigi. Like,
Who
make it
carries the
make fucking
gun?
sense.
It doesn't make sense. Who carries the gun in a McDonald's? If it was him, he wanted to be caught and he set himself up because McDonald's is known for Monopoly. There's tons of Monopoly references here.
I
Monopoly
didn't even
is
think
a
about that.
Oh yeah, no, I went on this whole like, and then the railroad literally goes right next
Yes.
to the McDonald's. That's the Monopoly Railroad. He had the Monopoly money. He is known to be an anti-capitalist. Monopoly
In
is
Pennsylvania.
in Pennsylvania, yes, and Monopoly is known to be a capitalist game, right? Like about you put the hotels on Central Park and you're fucking raking everyone else under the coals. That's how that game goes. And
Yeah.
so it's very much gives like intentional vibes. I don't know, did you read the manifesto?
Mm-hmm.
I did too. I felt like to be such an Ivy League college educated, smart, literally engraved shit on casings, like it seemed pretty like amateur written. Maybe I'm wrong, but like he's an Ivy League student. He could write a better paper than that.
Yeah, and then the what was it, 268 or 286?
The Pokemon
on his Goodreads, and the X-ray of his spine, which several doctors have come out and they're like, that is horrible. Like, he's got this chronic back pain. So again, insurance companies screwed him over, screwed his mom over. Like, they had it coming, but he's too detail oriented, and like all of these things line up, but it doesn't add up. Like, it just doesn't. None of it makes sense.
We need a full connect the dots. I have a board in my head with the red lines. You know,
Yes.
Okay, I need someone to make it make sense because there's so many pieces that make sense for it to be Luigi. Honestly, so many do.
Oh, yeah.
But it's almost too convenient. It's too convenient. And also, like, some of the pictures, the details, the stuff's not adding up. So I'm interested. I know for a fact when this goes to court, it will be televised because the American people will clap people if they aren't. And so we are going to be it's going to be another Johnny Depp Amber Heard. The country is watching every second of this trial. But yeah, I'm interested to see what comes out. They're about to extradite him to New York from Pennsylvania. I think he got a new attorney. His first attorney was unhinged. I don't know if you saw the videos. I love.
He's like, I'm not going to speak for my client. Like, I really don't know much about him. I just kind of took this on, and here we are.
Like, I've seen zero evidence saying that he did it. Also, the other thing that was a big thing. This is one last thing I want to talk about before we move on to the next current event. The gun. Okay, they were talking. They made it such a big deal from that video that he wasn't professionally trained because he handled the mess up wrong, and that it was a very unique gun, and the police chief had never even seen one, blah, blah, blah. And then now they're saying, they found a 3D printed gun in his backpack. That's different than what they were originally saying. What's the truth? Yeah. So, if they found the 3D printed gun in his backpack, it's not the gun that clapped the guy. They say they need to do ballistics. Now, the only thing I can think of is, let's say he got a 3D printed gun, and then he printed it or got it printed to look like that special gun so that it couldn't be traced. That may be what it is, but they just need to connect those dots, because for people who know a little bit about firearms, you're like, that doesn't make sense. We're asking more questions here. It's like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm interested to see them try to explain that.
Yeah, I mean, if it ever gets that far. Like, yeah. So did you see the case of Brianna Boston from Florida?
The one who called?
She called Blue Cross, and she was like, deny, defend, oppose, you're next. She got arrested. Yeah. $100,000 bond. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It was terroristic threatening, right? That's what they charged her with?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, but when they write a book about it, about how they're going to deny, no, what was it? Because it's different words. It's like, deny, I don't know, it's 3D words.
It's deny, defend, no, it's, Yeah. Oh shit, what is the book? They
I know, I
changed
just
depose
had it.
out. Depose
Yeah.
is the word that he put in the bullets, which means to dethrone.
Yeah.
So it's whatever
Yeah,
whatever
whatever
that
the
word
the
swapped.
third word is, like you write a whole book about how you're going to do this to the American people and basically rob them, because that's all insurance is. They
Yep.
act as a middleman. They don't actually pay anything. They don't save you money by paying a premium like a membership would. So what the fuck? And
Yeah.
every like there I've seen so many people say, "Oh, my company just announced that they're dropping UHC or UHG, the whole group." And then there's a whole lawsuit now that health insurance companies like UHC can no longer be pharmaceutical companies also. So the whole thing's about to collapse and I'm fucking here for it.
100%. Yeah, no, it's needed. Like America is a wonderful country and I'm very thankful to be an American, but there is some work that we need to do specifically
So
in
much.
big pharma, our food, healthcare. Three big problems in my opinion that can be fixed. I did see
Yeah.
another thing too that Republicans and Democrats are agreeing, which no matter what side you're on, it's very unusual
Yeah.
for them to agree. They are agreeing on this whole healthcare system thing, which, you know, hey, I have friends with opposite beliefs as me, and we're all on the same page. Like, so this is
Yeah.
one thing I feel like that maybe can bring our country together after all of this division. Like, we need to fix this shit. Okay, we need to
Yeah.
fix this shit. And there's like bills going through right now. I saw a TikTok that was like, everyone start calling your congressman because they're
Yeah.
trying to make it to where you can't get, like, it's not like all about the groups, right? The insurance policy should be individualized,
Mm-hmm.
which I think I mean, I had a personal experience with this, that there was somebody on our group plan at a small business that had cancer. And so everybody's rates went up. And so they always just lump everyone in together, right? And that's not
Mm-hmm.
fair. I mean, it's not fair. The cancer person, that's absolutely terrible, and I don't wish that upon anyone. But like
Yeah.
everything is all about money, all about grouping people together, and the one person's sick, so 50 people have to pay more money. Like it just
Mm-hmm.
that's just shitty, right? That doesn't make sense to me. And so I think they're
Yeah.
trying to eliminate that to where the sponsored healthcare, I think, is what they're really trying to revamp, which I believe is
Mm-hmm.
probably 90% of Americans' health insurance is probably, I'm making that stat up, but I would guess pretty accurate.
Oh,
It's
easily. Yeah.
through their employer or their spouse's employer or their parents if they're, you know, still under 26 and can be on their parents or whatever the rule is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean that would change the whole game, and I think that's what they're trying. And I had somebody, I don't remember what politician said this, but they made a very interesting point. They said, you know, he may have attacked that guy, but his claim getting denied, he felt like he was attacked. So
Yeah.
you have to think about the perspective. When people get their claims denied, they think that's a personal attack on their health, on their life. And that's
Yeah.
their perception of it. So him attacking the CEO is, you know, justified because they attacked him. That's how
Yeah.
the mind works. I mean, I get that. I do 100%.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how this all unfolds.
Yes.
And we've learned a lot about our citizens, especially in our age group.
Yes.
They like a boy in orange.
Like the whole news anchor doing essentially an interview with all of the inmates around him. They're like flashing lights and yelling out the window. I was like,
Oh,
one, I
yeah.
didn't think windows opened in prisons.
No.
But two, they're just like shouting out the window, and the guy's like, this is the most bizarre interview I've ever done live.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I can't. They're like, Luigi's conditions suck ass. Free Luigi. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my god.
And then that did you see that TikTok I sent you where the guy's like, this is for Ryan Murphy for
Yeah.
deductible. And he just smiles.
Oh yes, he looks just like him too. That guy does. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's hilarious, and everyone's like auditioning for the part of Luigi Mangione.
I love the karma though. The girl that snitched isn't getting the money because she didn't call the right fucking number. I'm like,
she called 911, not the tip line. She didn't call Crime Stoppers or whatever.
yeah.
Why
I'm
is
like,
that funny? Snitches
karma,
get stitches, bitch.
Yeah.
Just to say, I'm just publicly stating we do not support murder. We are book talk girls, so naturally
Yes.
we root for the morally gray man.
Always.
Okay. Should we talk about Jay-Z?
Oh my gosh.
I'm just going to briefly touch on this because I feel like our listeners are probably Beyonce fans. And I mean no hate. I just think that as a people, we have to understand the people that we have looked up to our entire lives are pieces of shit. I think that we all just have to get that through our heads. Hey, my favorite country singer is going to jail for 7 days. You know? It is what it is.
Hey, but he pled guilty. He's going to do his time. He's paying for the crime.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yep. He cut his hair. He was wearing, he looked nice, okay? He said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. He was very polite. He did the crime. He's going to do the time. But that being said, I think we have to understand that people we really like, personally, are pieces of shit. We may like what they do, which to me it's going to be hard to support anyone who I know is involved in this. So it's going to be, I'm not a big cancel culture person. I'm not a fan of that. I think if I like your stuff and you're a good person, I like you. I don't care what you do you. But when it comes to children, that's the line, okay?
Yep.
When you cross that line is when there's no going back for me. And I think Jay-Z's going down too.
Yeah. Finally.
And everyone's saying like, it's false allegations, it's false allegations. Here's the deal.
Not that many.
This attorney, Rusby, what's his name? Busby? Okay.
Busby.
He is vetting these. Do you think he's going to put a probably $1 billion target on his back if he's not 110% sure that this happened? No. He did his due diligence before taking that case. So I am very confident that if there was any doubt, he wouldn't have taken that case. That's my opinion.
Yeah, same.
He don't want to put a target. He already has a giant target on his back from Diddy and crew. He doesn't want to keep adding names to the list if he doesn't have to. But I'm just praying for this guy every single day. Like, this guy is doing the Lord's work, okay? And we need everyone protect him at all costs. But anyways, Jay-Z apparently is involved. Apparently stuff's coming out every single day. I'm not seeing a lot of it. I'm assuming it's because of everything else that's going on. There's so much going on in the world right now, and I'm just wondering what's really going on that all these distractions are for.
Exactly.
So next piece of news is Hana Kobayashi. This will probably be the last time we talk about this one. I think there's a pin in it. She reached out to her family, pretty much said, I'm safe, I'm good. So the family decided to refund all the GoFundMe people, which I think was good of them. They could have not, and that would have been a big fuss, but they're refunding everyone. She has said, they confirmed it was a marriage scheme with the ex-boyfriend who left her in the airport. She married some dude who was dating a girl, and they pretended to be two couples for money, and then I guess she ended up not getting the money. I think that was how she got scammed, and someone she thought cared about her, blah, blah, blah. I think that was all that, and I don't think we're probably going to hear more unless somebody writes a book a little later.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then the dad, this is the thing I'm stuck on. So the dad is now dead. Whether he committed suicide or got too close to the truth, or he just couldn't handle his daughter being missing, whether he had other mental health issues going on, I don't know. But I'm just saying, that is sad. And she should feel guilty running away, not telling anyone, and that's her fault, in my opinion. I'll blame her.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I'm sure the sister and mom are like, what the fuck, girl? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be a hard thing to come back from as a family, knowing that one person's actions ultimately cause the demise of someone else in your family, and now you basically lost them both, because I wouldn't want to have a relationship with someone that caused that.
No, I've cut people off for less. and I would again.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. Okay, last piece of news before we get into this book. I don't know which company this is. I'm going to preface this statement by saying that I do not know. I just saw a couple of TikToks about it. I'm hoping that this is true. I know this sounds shitty, pun intended. You'll get in a second. This sounds shitty, but I kind of hope this is true because this is, man, not all heroes wear capes.
Yes.
So there's a CEO who apparently told their staff they've been getting Christmas bonuses for years, okay? Then they tell their staff, sorry, we've had a hard year, no Christmas bonuses. Something of that nature, that they couldn't afford it. That was the message, that they didn't have the revenue or whatever. Mm-hmm. Then he pulls up in a brand new Lambo. So guess what the sales team did? They all took a shit in it. I'm sorry. This is true. Multiple people took a shit in this car. Okay. Then that's what I had heard at first. And then I searched it to find some more TikToks on it. Apparently, they all ended up quitting shortly after that. Some of them got other jobs, but most of them got their savings together and started a whole new company doing the same thing that they were doing for that guy. Assuming they don't have non-competes and whatnot. But yeah, they started a whole new company together. This had to have been the straw that broke the camel's back. This CEO had to be a top tier piece of shit. Because I can't see staff doing this over just one, like a Christmas bonus. I see them slowly peeling things away, and that was the icing on the cake that did them all in.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, I was like, there's no way. There's several TikToks about it. Now, based on these TikToks, this is true and actually happened. So, yeah, I hope their company does really well.
Yes. Love that.
That reminds me. Has Jeremy ever told you about that girl from Berryville? I don't know if he...
I feel like I've heard this story at one of your parties.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so there was this girl. She was short, a certified short person, little person, okay? And I don't know if she was homeless or what the situation was, but she was all over town. I'm going to change her name to Sherry for security reasons. I'm assuming she's not alive because this was over 10 years ago and she was very elderly at the time. But she would go, we had the nicest building in all of our hometown where I went to school with Tisha's husband and my husband. It was the Berryville Community Center, okay? It was state-of-the-art, gym, track, so nice. Like, you pay a membership and you can go use it, whatever, okay? And I guess, like I said, I'm assuming she was homeless. There were showers, pool, all that. Assuming she was homeless. I don't know if she had a membership there to use the bathrooms, the showers, or whatever, which, would be a good idea. But all I know is that somebody pissed her off and she shit and rubbed it all over the walls. Like, okay, so I used to own a dog grooming boarding daycare center in Berryville, very, very, very close to the community center. She would bring her dogs to us, okay? So I knew her personally. No, if she's still alive, know her, okay? And she was always really nice to me, but I was overly nice to her because I did not want the situation to happen, okay? There was one day, I shit you not, pun intended again, she asked to use our bathroom, and I let her. I was like, absolutely, Miss Sherry. Follow me. I'll bring you back here. And then when she left, I called my mom. And I was on the phone. Mom, Sherry went to the bathroom. I'm going to check it. Coast was clear. Yeah. So people actually be doing that.
That's wild.
I don't know if drugs were involved or not. I wouldn't be surprised. It's bearable. So, okay.
Oh, man.
Should we talk about the book now?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Okay, so this week I did something a little different. I usually wait till I finish the book to start typing my notes, but this week I kept the sheet going as I was reading the book and just made notes as they popped into my head, which I think will take us on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. And as I made realizations, I made notes in the right time. So there's going to be some things I realized way later in the book than I should have. And that'll be okay, and that's funny. So anyways, we're going to dive in. Spoiler alert. I think the only triggers might be like parental death not pictured.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Meghan Quinn. My first impression, like, of the book was that it was really, really cheesy.
Yes, same.
Super cheesy. The first note I made was Story calling him Connor had me roll. I genuinely was laughing out loud at that point because it was like he knew she was being a shithead and was like very flustered.
Oh yeah, he took that one to heart.
Yeah, and then my next note is also the fact banter is top tier. But I think the falling out from 10 years ago should have been bigger. I mean, her just saying she hated that town in Christmas 10 years ago is a little dramatic. I'm like, you're literally the Grinch in this story. You hate Christmas, and you're mad at her for saying those things. Like, they should have had more of a falling out, like they kissed and she ran away.
Yeah,
or like
something.
Like, so I get it, his parents died that day as well, but I don't think he was trying to relate that to that, and I think it was a stretch. I think she should have come up with a more dramatic falling out. Like, maybe he had expressed his love and she said, I have a boyfriend. I don't know, something like heartbreak.
Or she was like, ew.
Yeah, ew. And they never even told each other how they felt. So it was like, again, with the communication. Anyways, my next note. This town sounds adorable and I want to go. Honestly.
It does, but also, like, I'm kind of a Grinch in my soul, so it'd be cute and fun for, like, a day. After that, it'd just be really fucking annoying to me. I
would never live there. I agree. I think it'd be like, right around Christmas, visit for the day, and then leave. I agree. Yeah. Also, I wrote a note. Aunt Cindy's a character, and I love her. Playing dead at eggnog competition. I was dying when they painted. Okay, Aunt Cindy was the funniest part of this book to me. I just picture a lonely, old, cantankerous old lady that just wanted drama, and just living for it, thriving.
Did you catch her name?
I have that later on, but yes, I caught it about 75% through the book. There's more, too. I have notes about this. There's more. Cindy, a.k.a. Cindy Lou Who, from The Grinch. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Grinch references in this book. And that's my favorite Christmas movie, so I'm driving. The
cover of it, I gotta pull it up because
it looks like
The Grinch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how she got away with it, but
it's close.
The cover. Oh wait, keep going. I'll get it pulled up eventually.
I did say the competition sounds fun. Like, it is something I would genuinely want to do this competition. I'm a very competitive person. Tisha knows this. Backstory on my competitiveness. Her, at the time, how old was Keaton? Probably 7 when he was beating me at this board game. So we left their house, went to Target, bought the board game. Jesse, my husband, was trying to talk me out of it because he's like, don't be that person. I'm like, no, I'm not going to let Tisha's kid beat me at this board game. So we bought it. Anyways, I'm very competitive. It's sometimes a little ugly.
I had to take a screenshot, but that's the cover.
It's probably because it's a human
from
hand.
The Grinch. Yeah.
It's probably because it's a human hand, not a green hand.
Yeah.
It's cute. I like the cover a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Also, I have a note. Do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
I do too. They said in this book that it wasn't.
Yeah.
I made that note immediately because Jesse would be like, blasphemy.
Yeah.
Okay. The first part I actually, had continuous laughter besides the Connor incident was the Grinch Chippendale scene. The pelvic thrust. Yeah. The amount of times they say pelvic thrust, I was literally, and then he was talking about he had a moment and he's not proud of it. We got egged on up there. I was actually cackling. Yeah, I thought it's so fun. Okay, at this point in the book, which were 2 competitions down, and I just realized the old ladies that gossip around town in matching tracksuits are named Martha and May, like Martha May Whovier from The Grinch.
Yep.
So that was probably 30-40% in the book when I figured that out. I still haven't put together Cindy at this point in the book. Then the light displays. This is the first note I have about hating the sister. At first, I just thought, the sister's fine. At this point, with the lights, I'm like, you are the most annoying fucking person ever. So, this is when I started, like, taking note that the sister, red flag, don't love her.
Yeah, I don't know, like, she was trying to be a martyr, and it was really fucking obnoxious.
Yeah. And then to think 20 boxes of lights is enough for a competition, I can tell you that's not even enough to circle my living room, lady. What are you doing?
Yeah, no. Like, you need to have every inch of the home covered if you're in some sort of competition like this.
Yeah. And then at this point in the book is when I realized Cole's best friend is named Max, like the Grinch's dog.
Yes.
That took me about... I literally put, when I realized his best friend was named Max, like the Grinch's dog, LOL, halfway through the book, ...
Which is his Holly Jolly sidekick.
Holly Jolly sidekick. I love that. Honestly, Max, I want a book about him. I loved Max. He's so fun and funny. Like, I just think he'd be a good time.
Especially with his real name being Atlas.
Yes.
Love it.
We love an Atlas. If you know, you know.
Yes.
Okay, the kiss under the mistletoe. Obviously, they both dug it and then pretended like they didn't. Typical rom-com.
Yes.
The heart-to-heart, the next note is the snow thing, and then the heart-to-heart in the truck. That was a long time coming. Like, him acting normal, her just being open, and then I put, y'all know how I feel about communication. Finally, you communicated.
Yes. Like, what, 2/3 of the way into the book, I was like, could we just get there already?
Literally. I didn't have a dick until like 75% in the book. What the fuck, Meghan Quinn?
Yeah. I thought she was spicy. I mean, once you get there, it is, but I was just like, what the fuck?
No, her other books, one of the other ones I've read specifically was spicy very quick, and then the other one took a long time. So I think it just depends on her story, but I wrote this note. At this point in the book, I can't decide if I love this book or hate it. I was like, I don't know. I haven't gotten any spice besides a kiss.
Yeah.
And it's a romance book. So I was like, I don't know. And then I put also can't decide if I love the Grinch narrator or not. Like, when he starts arguing with Cole, you know what I'm talking about? Like at the beginning of each chapter?
Yes. That actually annoyed the fuck out of me.
Okay, like, see, that's what I was like. I can't decide if I like it or not. Sometimes I thought his little rhymes were funny, but I did not like it when he argued with Cole. I was like, okay, you're crossing like
the barrier. Like, there's like the fourth wall in TV and movies, and you don't cross it unless you're Deadpool.
Unless you're Deadpool, yeah. You're not Deadpool, but I thought if they wouldn't have crossed that, I think the Grinch narrator would have been funny, because they had like witty little rhymes and that sort of thing.
And then like, he was like, oh, sorry, your pants are like dropping down and I forgot to put underwear on you. He's like, oh, actually, no, I'll give you a thong.
I'm giving you a thong. And then his friend pops it. That part, I actually did laugh about that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, this is a serious note that I thought was very sad. Him covering the sheets on his family home to preserve it for the 10 years. That's so like sad. Very sad and wholesome. I'm like, oh shit.
And also feels very real. Like, a lot of people, everybody mourns differently. And I feel like sometimes preservation is, when it's something like quick and so dramatic like that, like wasn't like a car accident or something.
Yeah, in the snow.
Like something like that somehow triggers like the brain to kind of shut down and just want to preserve everything the way it is. You don't ever want to change anything. Like, you want to just hold those memories. And I mean, that happens when kids are kidnapped or murdered or whatever. Like, people do that and like enshrine their homes or their rooms or whatever. It's very real. So I almost feel like Meghan Quinn had something like that in her life to like know how to draw that in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and then at this point, I kind of went back to my notes and I'm like, okay, so the falling out from 10 years ago, he's associating his trauma from his parents' death with story. And then I'm like, okay. Also thought it was kind of cute how Aunt Cindy called her storybook.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, that is such an old lady cute nickname.
Yeah.
Snow Daddy, I'm dying. When they started calling him that, I just needed more of a descriptive visual of what this guy looked like.
Yeah, there was nothing other than the V and the rippling pecs and abs, and I'm like,
and the working guy muscles. I know. I
yeah,
mean,
the
hair
sinew
color
in his arms. I'm like,
and then
okay, what is he?
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I need hair color, eye color, skin tone. I mean, come on, give me something. I can't. Yeah. I have to know. They described her. They described like her red hair, right? And like he does because he talks about like her always wearing a hat, and then she didn't have her hat on, and this and that. Anyways, my next note. OMG, Cindy is Cindy Lou Who. Why is this taking me so long to get?
Yeah, as soon as they said Cindy Louise, I was like, fucking Cindy Lou. Okay.
Yeah, I'm red. I'm embarrassed. The Grinch is my favorite movie. The Grinch is my favorite Christmas movie, Jim Carrey edition. Yeah. You know what would have been best is if they had Jim Carrey narrating as like the narrator as an audiobook.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't pay me for my ideas.
They probably couldn't afford to pay him.
No. The Mean Girls Santa, like
died.
That is, and then Aunt Cindy even did. I'm like, she goes from decrepit, almost dying in a wheelchair to doing the Mean Girls dance. That was actually really funny, I thought.
Yeah.
My next note. Why do I now want a pineapple flavored candy cane? They got spicy.
I think they have them.
Okay, I don't really like pineapple, but you know, I like them in rum drinks on the beach. Yeah. So, did you hate? Well, we already talked about the sister. My next thing was, did you hate the sister as much as I did? And then, not surprised by the sister being the one who fucks shit up. I would literally hate her.
Oh yeah, and no amount of Cindy Lou intervening and being like, "Oh, you girls, this is the whole fucking reason we brought you here is to bring you together. I didn't even fucking break my hip."
Literally. Oh, that was a bomb. I didn't actually expect that, I will say.
No.
I expected, like, the sister, like, not surprised, but the fact that things were going way too well, I was like, okay, this is a rom-com. What shoe's gonna drop? She's gonna get a call to go edit more Lovemark movies in Maine, or...
Yeah, she's gonna have to leave, and she can't stay, and
he's gonna have to go
find
get her.
a way to come back to each other. Yeah. Typical rom-com.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was waiting for that, but I wasn't really surprised that it was a sister. I was surprised by the hip, so I'll say good job, Meghan Quinn, on catching us off guard with the hip.
Yeah, it kind of pissed me off, though. Like, fuck that grandma.
I was like, I loved her until that point, but, I mean, obviously it worked out. If my sister acted like, what's her face? I don't think I'd talk to her that much either. I have a sister I don't talk to.
What is the sister's name? Taryn?
Taryn. I keep wanting to say Taryn, but that's like the dragon's name in Fourth Wing. So I just keep saying sister because I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if we have a Malik Malek situation or.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
Yeah. Taryn was annoying. And her name is like the only one that doesn't have like a relation to the Grinch. So that should have been our sign too.
Maybe there is. How Stories is related in the Grinch? Just because
I think Story is just because, I think it's just because she is like the thing that pulls everything together, like connects both worlds. So she is like the binding of the storybook.
Okay, that That checks out. Well, and
Might
Cole.
be a stretch, but
Yeah, Cole too. Maybe just because they're the main
Mhm.
characters.
Maybe.
But, anyways, overall, I will say, like, I wouldn't read it again, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not giving it 5 stars or anything, but it was like a fun Christmas read. Emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
What do you say? You didn't like it as much as I did you?
I gave it a 4.
Okay.
Not
me
terrible,
too.
but not my favorite either. The twist at the end did kind of save it, and the spice.
The spice was
very
good.
near the end.
Yeah, the spice was good once we got there.
Yeah. Like when you texted and you're like, it just got hot. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, thank God, because I was about to DNF it. I was like, I can't. This is so
Cheesy.
dragged on. Like there's very teeny moments that were like cutesy and comedy or rom-com, but I was just like, this is fucking annoying and I can't. And then it goes from 0 to 900 so fast. I was like,
woo,
jeez.
Yeah. No, it was good. The spice was good for sure. So
Yeah.
Came through.
Yes. All right. Do you have anything else?
Nope. I'm all set with my hundreds of notes. I'm a little ashamed of how long it took me to figure out the characters' names, but I'll own it. I'll own it.
All right. Well, I think that is it for this week. When this episode airs, it is 5 days before Christmas.
Insane.
Wild. I'm wearing my "Don't Be a Cotton-Headed Nenny Muggins"
Love
sweater.
it.
So next week we are covering. There's a whole like mini novella series that 5 different authors have come together to write little bitty stories that somewhat mix, just because they're based on Christmas stories, love stories, which we'll get into obviously next week. There were some I loved and some I fucking hated. And so yeah, go follow our socials. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel or Spotify or both. And I think that's it. We put out new episodes every week. So we will talk to you guys later.
Bye.